Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chani, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another in our series, New Member Orientation Program. This is the 11th in the series of this year. And to kick things off, let me recognize the presence of our Program Quality Director for District 20, DTM Yasser Al-Gashar, and must also mention District Director-elect. Let me also recognize the presence of our NMOP coordinator, plus our timer, DTM Dinesh, NMOP coordinator, obviously DTM Jangir, and everyone else. Thank you so much for joining in today's series 11. And to kick things off, friends, let me very quickly give you a quick rundown of what this NMOP program is all about. Essentially, what we hope to do is to have a program that introduces in a simple yet concise manner, brief manner, about what Toastmasters is to our newer members, and also to introduce them to the education program that Toastmasters International currently uses, which is Pathways. So every single one of our programs will have a session on Toastmasters, an introduction to Toastmasters, as well as an introduction to Pathways. Now, in addition to that, in order to make every one of our series a little bit unique and different to each other, and also to make it meaningful, we also have a third session, a third speech, or a third presentation in every one of our series, and that would touch on a different aspect of Toastmasters. Some of them might be about how to run a club, how to write a speech, how to just simply use vocal variety, and so on. So that brings the variety into it. So today in our 11th series, we have three amazing speakers lined up for you with, of course, the two usual topics, which is Introduction to Toastmasters and Introduction to Pathways. But in addition, we also have Toastmasters and Professional Life. Now, to kick things off, let me introduce you to the first speaker, and that is our Area 10 Director, Toastmaster Deepak, who's a project management professional who's got a passion for public speaking and leadership. He's a past president, vice president education, and treasurer of Keenpo Toastmasters Club, and currently works as a senior planning engineer with the MSCS company. And he is going to talk to us in the next 20 minutes about what Toastmasters is. So, friends, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Deepak, Area Director, Area 10, to present to us Introduction to Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepak.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, for that wonderful introduction. Once again, good evening to all of you, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, I am before you to give a small presentation on my journey and an introduction to Toastmasters. When we talk about Toastmasters, the first thing we have to acknowledge the effort of the founders, right? So, how it all started and what's the history? Let's go through it very shortly. So, Toastmasters began not 10, 50, but 100 years back in 1924 in the basement of a building in YMCA in Santa Ana, California. And that time, the director of YMCA, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, felt the need for young patrons to have training to master the art of public speaking and to have leadership skills to preside over the meetings. So that is how it all began. Before I move further, let me see if how many of you we have any guests or new members? Anyone can raise hands if you are a guest or a new member. I think yes, we have few of them. Thank you. Once again, I welcome the guest because this man, the new members especially. Yeah. Hi Prashop. Hi Vedur. How are you? Hope you will enjoy the session and hope you carry some value once I present the session. This all session is meant for you new members and for the members who are interested to know about Toastmasters and to make them feel how it helps and empowers a person. So welcome once again and let me begin with the further information on Toastmasters. So all of you will have this feeling. What is really a Toastmaster about, right? It's an international organization. It's a not-profit organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills to a worldwide network of clubs that meet online and in person. So since 1924, Toastmasters is helping people from all backgrounds to become confident speakers and leaders. So this is just a technical definition of what Toastmasters is about. Okay, but actually, in a real life, in your practical life, it is much, much more than that. Let's take a dive into the life or journey of a Toastmaster. Yeah. So let me begin with my experience, my journey as a Toastmaster, and which can also be yours as well. First of all, let me give a small introduction of my Toastmaster journey. I was introduced to Toastmasters by one of my senior members or senior manager in my organization, who is also and was and till now is one of the senior member of Toastmasters community in Bahrain, and he is the charter president and the member of Keen for Toastmasters Club. So he is the one who brought me to Toastmasters, and my first experience in Toastmasters was something where I could feel that I am in a group of people in a positive energy. There's a vibe. I am in front of a group of people who can support me. It was exactly I could understand that I was at the right point at the right time. So I want to tell you about three main things. First is about the personal connection that you make in Toastmasters. Second is about the professional networking. And third one is about the emotional connection that you have in the long run. Let's move to the next slide and see what it is. Okay, how I connected personally. So the most beautiful thing is that if you want to know more about Toastmasters, if you want to join Toastmasters, there is no hurry and you don't have to pay anything before joining. What you need to do is to be a guest in any of the Toastmasters clubs near your locality. You can easily find out a Toastmasters club from the TI website, the Toastmasters International website, and you can join to become one of the guest members. You can connect to any of the members of Toastmasters club. When you are a guest, you can just look at how things happen in Toastmasters and get a feel of that. And once you are okay and confident, you can proceed further. And when I remember of my first day, I remember how special it was. There is a grand ceremony where we are inducted and we take an oath, and all the guests take an oath to support us. All the members, the fellow members take an oath to support us. And we feel so inclusive and we feel we feel we entered a new family at the same time. And during the same first day, you will be given a mentor. Now just imagine in your personal life or in your professional life, how many of you get a good mentor? So then begins the relationship from mentor and mentee, which is a very beautiful relationship. It goes beyond Toastmasters, goes beyond your personal, professional life to a personal life and much more. So you get a senior Toastmaster who will mentor you, he will guide you by hand through all of the proceedings. So you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to confuse. There is no ambiguity. You will be made very clear. Just you have to ask questions. How, what should be done. So you will be having a permanent guide along with you. And then you are not only in this small community of a club. You are an extended family of 270,000 plus members in 148 countries. That should make you feel really special and empowered, my friends. Nowhere in the world you can get access to such a beautiful community in such a short period of time. Here in District 20, which comprises of 4 countries, we have a common WhatsApp group with all these members, and we can talk and get connected with anyone to discuss anything which is related to Toastmasters or something related to professional life also they can have, because there will be everyone from, at least someone from your community, some your locality, some your professional background who can help you. So that is the beauty of Toastmasters. Coming to professional networking, of course, meeting with colleagues and like-minded professionals, right? Just imagine you are in a just you are coming out of graduating out of college, right? You are searching for a job. Many of you will be searching for a job, right? The young professionals, you need a good job. Can you get a good job just like that? You need good connections, right? You need to meet good people who can help you, who can guide you. Of course, you will get that here in Toastmasters. You will get senior professionals from your same professional background who can guide you, who can help you to find a job, who can help you to get to an interview, things like that. So, overall working professionals, they also gain a competitive edge in their workplace with improving their communication and leadership skills. That comes obviously with Toastmasters. Career growth and promotions, of course, that is part and parcel of this. This is a byproduct. You just have to be in Toastmasters, and these things will keep coming. Networking opportunities in small and supportive environment. Yes, initially, see, all the new members, mostly we have stage fright, right? When you have stage fright, you will be a little afraid to move forward, correct? So what you will do, you join the Toastmasters community. There are a small group of people, 10, 15, 20, 20 people, 25 people. They will help you, they will mold you, and you can speak in front of the stage confidently. There is nobody to judge you. They will only give you constructive feedback that will help you in future. Yeah. And best one, if you're a shy person like me, of course, if you don't feel like that, maybe, but let me tell you, I'm a very shy person and I'm a very introvert person as well. But once you join Toastmasters, you get that confidence, you get that courage to speak out, to ask questions, and face the interview, face the people. You'll feel that confidence in yourself, right? So that's how it moves forward. Okay. And coming to the emotional connection, this happens over a period of time. I will tell you, once you are in a small club, there are a group of people who support you. You are the one of the one who support others. New members will join. Once you become a senior member, you will have your mentors and you will be mentored to someone else, right? So your relationship bonding gets beyond that club level. You have family meets, you have some social programs, you have some charity programs along with the clubs. You do a lot of things, and you will get a lifetime of friendship, my dear friends. I am sure that feeling of having an extended family always, who is ready to help you anytime, that is something very, very special. And this emotional connection comes over a period of time. It dwells over you, and soon a Toastmasters family will become extended part of your family, and definitely it will help you a lot, my dear fellow new Toastmasters and guests. You will be starting a wonderful journey. I can assure you that. Some facts of my beautiful old District 20 family. Just facts and figures for your interest. We in District 20 belong to 4 countries: Bahrain, Kuwait, Egypt, and Iraq. These 4 countries, beautiful countries, that makes our District 20. We come from 85 different cities and we are from 818 different clubs. We are more than 2,240 plus members in this group and in a small WhatsApp group. You have so much of persons, so much of energy, so much of enthusiasm to learn, to teach others, to help others. Everyone here is with a service mentality. So that's the power you get from so many professional members who are ready to help you anytime. And soon you will be also ready to help others, because that is the 4 major pillars of Toastmasters: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. So how does it work? Toastmasters, no more, normally we conduct weekly, monthly, twice 2 meetings, and we do different types of workshops to hone the speaking skills and leadership skills. Of course, you will get a training module, you will have different training materials. Everything is now online. You can access everything online now. You have training materials that will be guiding through a proper sequence. You can select the best you want. The person, there will be mentors to guide you. Don't worry about that. The normal meetings are like periodically, monthly twice we conduct meetings. Then there will be a lot of workshops, seminars, trainings conducted. But the beautiful thing is that nobody will pressurize you. This is nothing been done to pressurize you. You can learn, you can develop at your own pace. You can be yourself. Nobody is here to compel you, but I'm sure once you get the taste of it, you will join yourself. And there are a lot of people having beautiful courses and workshops who are ready to help you. It's all, there is no extra any hidden charges or terms and conditions. Once you are a member, everything is free for you. You just have to begin your journey. And learn and teach method. Yes, you learn from others, you teach others. I learned from my fellow Toastmasters. Now I am teaching some new Toastmasters. I learned from my mentors. I guide my mentees. So that is how you learn, you teach. And then again, you learn and teach. This process keeps on going. And learning and teaching is a lifelong journey in Toastmasters. And this will help you as a lifelong learner, sure. And it is a servant style leadership. You know different leadership styles. Here there is nothing, no arrogant, no boss, no servant culture. It is always the leaders keep themselves behind and support you from behind to lead you, but they don't lead, they lead you along with you so that you don't feel that no, they're having someone like a boss who is instructing, they are just moving along with you. So that's how beautiful the leadership style in Toastmasters is. Coming to a regular meeting, the regular meeting of the opening, of course, the club has the club excom, which consists of 7 members. That's the club president, VP education, and VP membership, VP. So 3 VPs, and there is a treasurer and there is a secretary. So you have total 7 excom members who lead the club, and how the agenda is fixed and how it proceeds. I'll just have a brief through it. You can look at the screen. The overall meeting is around 1.5, maximum 1.5 hours. And it starts with the opening speech by the club president. Then the different role players are introduced. Then there is the word of the day, which is a new word introduced, which you have to just use within your meeting session just to improve your vocabulary skills, nothing else. And then there is a business session where different programs, what has been conducted, what has been discussed last meeting, what is your next meeting plan, what is coming in front. All these things are discussed. Then there is a joke session. Of course, before you go into serious mode, you need to have some lighter moments to tickle your funny bones, right? So all this are it's the meeting. It's not just like a very serious session. Then you have, so there is a approved joke master who will crack some really funny jokes for you. Then there is the educational session. In the education session, you will have prepared speeches by speakers. So as I told you, you will have material to prepare, you will be assigned 20s, and the VP education will be there to guide you. So then slowly there will be prepared speeches. 2 or 3 members will be giving prepared speeches. Once that's done, you will have something I missed out, that is a beautiful break, and you will have a beautiful buffet of snacks and juices and burgers, all that for your tummy. Then you will have an evaluation session. In evaluation session, of course, you will have the evaluation done for the prepared speeches and for the whole meetings. This is just constructive feedback by senior members on how the meeting was conducted and did you follow all the standards and norms and how it can be improved further. And then there will be a closing session with appreciations and awards given away for the best speaker, best table topic speaker, and best evaluator. Coming to the leadership opportunities that you have in Toastmasters, my friends, leadership opportunity in Toastmasters is unlimited, I will say. There is club leadership roles, there is role of area director and the council members, division director, district director, regional advisors, and Toastmaster International officers at the top. This is a leadership ladder. And I will just give my personal experience. I started in a club with as a treasurer as my first XCOM role, and then to VP Education. Then I moved to president, and currently I am the area director of Area 10. A proud member of Toastmaster, a servant leader, and an area director of my proud area, Area 10. I'll just give a brief introduction. Let me tell you one example of how a leadership role helps you. Suppose you take the role of treasurer, right? Treasurer is not just a role you have to take for in a club. You are the treasurer of your home. When you run a family, you need to know, right? How much is the incoming budget? How much you are spending? If you are a treasurer in a club, just see the transformation after 1 year. How beautifully you will manage your budget in your family. I have my personal experience, right? So that is the benefit. It is beyond Toastmasters. It will go into your family, your extended family, your network, wherever you go, in your professional life as well. This is just one small example I want to give you. So that brings to the end of my journey, my small presentation as the introduction to Toastmasters. And with this, I hope the small presentation I have given you have been of value to you, and soon you will be professional Toastmaster membership official members. I look forward to see you all new members and guests as Toastmasters. My fellow friends, Toastmasters, guests, this is a wonderful opportunity. You have to utilize this, and I am sure, I assure you, you'll come back to me, and that moment I'm waiting to see how you are beautifully developing as wonderful Toastmasters. Thank you, and all to Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Area Director Deepak. Let's give him a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepak. And if you would permit me, I would like to display your certificate, and please accept this certificate from on behalf of the organizing committee and the NMOP coordinator and our PQD. Of course, I would like to present this to you, and this will be obviously sent to you by our coordinator. Thank you so much. Please don't go, please stick around, because I'm sure there's a lot of questions that will come through. And this is a small note for the audience. Please have your questions ready. You can either put them through in the chat, or you could save them and raise them during the Q&A session, which will be a little while later. And I'm sure our speakers will be very much happy to answer these questions for you. Now let's quickly move on to I have been informed that the assigned timer has arrived. It's DTM Mohammed Salim. Thank you so much, DTM Dinesh, for playing the role so far. And we should, as Toastmasters is all about appreciation and recognition, I think DTM Dinesh deserves a big round of applause for stepping in and playing this role. So please join me in thanking and applauding DTM Dinesh. Thank you so much, sir. Always the ever-willing servant leader that I know him, and he's once again proven what he's capable of. Even though on and off he has a habit of losing his medals, I am informed. And he found them back. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now quickly move on to the next in our series, in today's series. And it is an introduction to pathways. But before that, let me present to you who our presenter, our leader is. And I'd like to ask, yes, DTM Dinesh, you have raise your hand.
Sir, please check with the DTM Mohammed Salim if he's ready.
All right.
Because I
okay,
didn't see the background.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No, that's a good point. Thank you so much. DTM Mohammed Salim. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, we can see the background. Welcome, DTM Mohammed Salim, my guru, my mentor. Good to see you, sir. Right. Let's get to Now, in order to introduce the next speaker, I'm going to ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Have you thought about how you use pathways in a real life scenario or for a real life reason? And imagine using pathways to tackle a project or goal that you have always meant to pursue. For instance, you could aim to build awareness of EMT fatigue or organize a workshop or offsite you've been planning. Now, our next presenter, DTM Sandra Savage, who's been a Toastmaster for the past 35 years, is actually using her 10th path to prepare for the launch and marketing of her novel, Cadence. It's the story of a young boy who stutters and is bullied until his Morse code skills are discovered while he is held captive in a North Korean prisoner of war camp. And by the way, she's used her 9th path, the previous one, to publish and market her cookbook entitled With Love. Friends, if this is not practical use of what we learn in Toastmasters, what is? That's all I can ask you. Toastmaster Sandra, she has come with a wealth of experience. She's a certified project manager with Adobe, Macromedia, and so many other software companies for the past 16 years. She offers practical insights on how to break down goals into manageable projects using pathways with purpose. Friends, prepare your pen and paper to jot down unique ideas, to have fun completing your next goals. And by the way, those DTM Sandra, she's somebody who operates around the clock by the number of clock faces those are behind her. Please join me in welcoming DTM Sandra Savage to tell us about Pathways. Introduction to Pathways by DTM Sandra. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I was living in Silicon Valley, California in 2017 when Pathways was first introduced to the world. And it was a challenge to get people to use Pathways. And then I sat back and I thought, well, why did they even join Toastmasters in the first place? Was it just to give speeches and talk about how wonderful it is to be a Toastmaster? Or are they joining for a reason? One of the gals that I got to mentor, her name is Katie. She wanted to gain confidence. She'd worked for the same employer for 26 years. Same job title, same pay, same old, same old. And she wanted to take on some new challenges. She saw a need at her employment. She's a dental hygienist, to create a training program, not just for new employees, but to expand the dental practices offerings. She wanted to go in and proactively approach her boss, give a presentation. She even came up with the curriculum for the training program. She interviewed all kinds of other dental offices, got to know what their best practices were, and she wanted to get a new job. I'm happy to say she did. In fact, she got 6 job offers out of it, 4 from companies she interviewed outside of her own. However, she did not want to be a good Toastmaster. She wanted to be a good communicator. So if you think about the types of projects you're working on a day-to-day basis doing, they could include everything from creating your author platform and marketing a book. It could be doing graphic design and launching a whole business using Canva and making money on the side. I have one lady in Canada who is building a neurodiversity high school because the students don't learn as well from textbooks and lectures as they do from hands-on experiments. So she's building a whole new high school for them. She wanted to put together a plan and propose it like Katie did. I have a couple of gals who have come over from Ukraine after the war, and they have assimilated now to other countries, and they want to help other women do the same. We also have a lot of people interested in building community gardens, especially if they live in a dense city with a lot of high rises, but they want local, fresh produce. So how do you start up a community garden? Who in the city council do you have to talk to? Who at the apartment complex do you need to clear it with? So forth and so on. What are the speeches and presentations and social media plans they need to make their goals a reality? There's one fashion designer who is taking remnants. She's approached all these fabric manufacturers. She's taking their remnants, and she's a fashion designer and making beautiful blouses for women, for professional women. And they give them to the women at no charge. All the proceeds are going directly into the manufacturing so that people, women especially, can get out of homelessness and into a job. I have another lady over in Ireland who is talking about ethical procurement. Now, when she first started talking to me about this, it was the driest topic I had ever heard of. I couldn't understand why she was fascinated until we figured out a way to use a story to tell how it's important that you make sure that not only the raw materials that you're bringing up out of the earth, turning into a product, building something with, shipping, distributing, and selling, all along that the employees are being treated in a humane manner. Also, I have a young gentleman up in Canada who is fascinating, and he's getting some really high quality guests to come on his podcast, and he's learning his Toastmasters. He's using his Toastmaster speeches and the skills to help him build a whole podcasting program. And lots of business is growing in the life coach or performance manager world, and helping them put together their message, identifying their audience. These are all skills you use in business, but you need a place to practice and really get them good before you go in front of the real boss, the real world. So let's think back. Why did you join Toastmasters? Was it to be more confident as a communicator? Was it because you had an idea and you wanted to bring that idea all the way from, say, a neurodiversity idea to a high school, or remnant fabrics into clothing, into treating people humanely? You have an idea and you need to get it started. Do you want to entertain people? I am not going to do the 11th path. I am not funny. I'm not going to do engaging humor. But I have done I'm on my last one now. Do you want to be persuasive? Do you have a political or a faith-based initiative that you want to help spread the word on? Do you want to be able to persuade people to take better care of their health? Eat the right foods? Do you want to motivate people, get a team together and motivate them into getting a project done, or into being a team that gets along much better than ever before? Or, as I call them, the super leaders, people who want to take on a really big initiative. These just so happen to be paths in pathways. These 6 categories match up with the 6 paths that are going to be continued in the new 2025 educational program with Pathways. Now, you can use a lot of these same projects and goals using other paths, but I'm going to focus only in on these 6. Visual communication, or excuse me, presentation mastery, the #1 path in the world, is a great one to expand on your communication skills. If you have a new idea, visionary communication. Entertainment is your engaging humor, your persuasive influence, motivational strategies, and dynamic leadership. In fact, I recently did a workshop on how to build a professional speaking business, getting paid, using your path in dynamic leadership to build the program from the ground up. Now, and what I mean by from the ground up is actually by starting by turning it upside down. Instead of looking at each path from level 1, look at it from level 5. Look at the big deliverable that you have in level 5, then 4, then 3, to figure out what path fits the need of what you want to build yourself. Now, I have grouped them into 3 categories. The first one being, I can do this all by myself. I can be a brand new member. I don't need to rely on anybody, although I can ask for help. But by myself, I can do presentation mastery, visionary communications, and engaging humor. And if you look at what the big project is at the end, they're speeches. Or in working with a team, you can also work on persuasive influence or motivational strategies. And on the big one, dynamic leadership is a path that's going forward. I'm going to quickly go through some unique ways to use the projects in each of those paths. Instead of taking them for the very vague description they give, apply it to you. How can you use this project to get you to that level 5 project, which matches your goal? Let's start off with the basics. The most important thing you're ever going to learn in Toastmasters is how to write a speech. If you don't have a well-written speech, no matter how good you speak in public, you will not reach your audience. You need to be able to learn to write a speech with purpose. And my test on if your speech was successful is if I can go home and tell somebody about it. If someone here in this group gives a speech and I go home and I tell my husband that so-and-so talked about this, that means they were successful. I heard them, it moved me, I'm going to remember it. I may actually do something too. The second thing is your icebreaker. Now, for new members, this is important to introduce yourself to your club. But for those of us who have given more than one icebreaker, you don't need to talk about yourself every time. Talk about what you're going to be working on. I'm going to be working to build a community garden in my neighborhood. Tell us about your plan. Ask for help. Ask for honesty. Tell your club the best thing you can do for me is to help me give with honest feedback on how well this speech went, because if you think about it, your Toastmasters Club, what you're really paying for is other people's opinions. Practice time too, but you can do that in the mirror. The mirror will just give you back what you tell it. But your club is who's going to tell you how you can even make it better. And in our clubs, we have so many talented people. Ask them for help. There might be someone who's a lawyer, someone who's in marketing, someone who's in podcasting. Ask them for their advice and help along the way. And then they will be less hesitant to ask you for help if you have a specialty they're interested in as well. Get to know why you are the right person to talk about this topic. These are your credentials. And by the way, those 3 things are your speech introduction, not your bio. I don't really want to know about your cats or your grandchildren. I want to know why you are the right person to talk about this topic and what you've done in this field. So get used to starting to write, and I have some resources for you, including this sheet here, on how to write a 100-word introduction to give to your Toastmaster of the day to say before your speech. What it does is it saves you a minute in your speech, and it has someone else patting you on the back instead of yourself. So it speaks for you and gets everyone to lean in, ready to hear your speech. Work on your body and vocal variety, especially once you get to know who you are and who your audience is. Get your feedback and also look into who is your audience. Who are you going to be talking to? Are you going to be talking to a community? Are you going to be talking to a political association? Are you going to be talking to friends and family? Whatever the audience you have is going to often dictate your body and vocal language. And get used to taking in that evaluation and giving it so that you help each other get better and better. In level 2, there's a project that a lot of people, well, level 2 is boring unless you use it differently. For example, your mentor doesn't mean being a Toastmasters mentor. It means find somebody who's an expert in the field you're interested in that you can use as your sounding board. Work with that person, learn from them, do your research. And there's so many great resources out there. My number one favorite for getting research done is going up to Amazon.com, looking at the books that are available and looking at their table of contents. There's a list of everything I have to do. You can also get those off of online courses, and you don't have to buy the courses, you just look at their syllabus. That'll tell you what you have to do to publish a cookbook, how to market your novel, how to start up a community garden, how to approach your city council. Look at who your competition is, your audience, your competition, and your companions. What I mean by companions is like the lady who is working with the secondhand fabric. She's working with the fabric manufacturers, the tailors and seamstresses that want to get their names out there, and the designers, as well as the distribution chain. She knows who fits together, but also by knowing them as well as your competition, you know what to say, what not to say, and how to say it. Instead of talking about your communication style, well, I'm really assertive. Well, what good does that do if you're trying to raise money? There's a different voice that you're using when you're asking for donations. If you're going to be working with a team or a guidance committee, you also need to know about your leadership style. Or if they are the leader, how can they best work with you to get you motivated to get to your deadlines on time? Now, in visionary communication, as there are in all paths, there are 5 levels. There are in visionary communication, there are 42 potential projects. You only have to do 17. But did you know you can do all of them? Every single project in that path. This is for your good, not for the good of Toastmasters. This is for the good of your own growth and your own goal. There are required ones in each of the levels, which are the ones that are in the dark red color. And then there are in level 2, 3, there are a number of electives, level 4, a number of electives, and level 5, a number of electives. And some of the resources I have put up on the Google Drive for you is a deck of cards for each of the 11 paths. And what you do is through a process of elimination, you figure out which projects you want to do and how many of them you want to do as well. How it works is you pull out all the white cards. Those are your required projects in every path. And then from the rest, you're going to pick out 2 or more. Like I said, you can do as many as you want. Of the yellow ones, those are your level 3. You can pick out 1 or more of your level 4 and pick out 1 or more of your level 5. Now you have a map of what you're going to get done. And it's up to you what order you do them in. Now, in your club, they get their DCP points at the end of the year. So as long as you get your levels in by the end of June, I believe it is, I should know after 35 years, then it doesn't really matter what order you do your levels or your projects in. Do them in the order that makes sense for you. So here's some other ones that other projects you may want to consider. In visionary communications, there's develop your vision. I love this one. You get to sit back and go, okay, what am I thinking? Who's my audience? What's the scope of work? How much budget do I need? How many people do I need? How am I going to generate revenue? How am I going to market myself? Start building this vision and work with your mentor to help you put together this vision. And the best project you can do in every single path is connect with storytelling. Why? because a big pill is easier to go down with a story than with a glass of water. People love stories. They can hear about tough situations, but in the format of a story, they go, oh, I can see how that applies to me, without you pointing your finger at them and telling them what to do. Develop your communication plan. Once you have started to build your project, how are you going to tell other people about it? And by the way, effective visual aids in level 3 elective, that could be your logo, your branding, your color. It could be how people are going to identify you with that product or service. And then your awareness. How are you going to get out in level 4 your message? Are you going to do a blog? Are you going to do a website, email campaign, Facebook campaign, and learn how to manage your project successfully? I was a product manager for Adobe, and what I had was a trade show, and it was on a specific date, and hundreds of vendors and guests were going to show up at this big trade show center somewhere in the world for this special day. Let's say it was a release at Macworld, back when Apple was fairly new. That date cannot change. You have to build towards that date. How do you build everything up to that date and make sure you make it on time? Learn how to manage projects successfully, and also how to communicate change. If you're working with anyone other than yourself, how are you going to make sure they know that they are doing the changes that you've decided to implement? What's your social media plan? Make connections through networking. Now, my novel is about a young boy who stutters, and he's also a prisoner of war during the Korean War. I have 2 authors. Both of them are very well known. I'm going to interview them, but I first have to get up the gumption to go and say, hi, my name is Sandra. Can I talk to you? And making connections through networking involves creating your elevator pitch. 100 words or less, so that when you bump into someone at a coffee shop and you interrupt their day and say, I can save you 25% and get your product to your customer 5% faster. I'd like to meet with you next week. By the way, my name is Sandra. That's as simple as an elevator can be, elevator pitch, or just a pitch, sales pitch. Make those connections through networking. With my authors, I'm going to make a connection with them, but you know what? As soon as I put my interview with them on my website, they're going to link their website to mine, and all of a sudden I get all of their readers to get to know about me. So who can help you with your spreading of your message? Prepare for an interview. This is great for podcasting and for moderating a panel discussion. And as you get towards the end, you may want to do a panel discussion. These are really effective. I saw one club in Ireland. What they did with the new officers is they had the new club president be the moderator and all the VPs be on the panel. And she asked each of them what their job was and what they wanted to accomplish in a year. So not only did she get practice at doing this type of an interview format, but she also demonstrated for us how to get other people to give us the answers instead of us having to give everyone the answers. I did this for a group of 5 published authors in motivational, novel, self-help, things like that, all different genres. And we got up, had them up on a panel. I could ask them questions instead of having to know them all myself. So use a panel not only to get your answers, but to share them with your club if you have enough people interested in that topic. Make sure that you keep refining your vision as you're going, and you're going to keep doing it even after you've finished your path. Learn how to make adjustments. Use your deliver social speeches in level 3 elective. You have to do 2 3-minute speeches. How about at the end of your path, you get up and you acknowledge each person that helped you and how they helped you, and that each one counts towards a social speech. Make sure that you write down what worked and what didn't work. So the next time you can't go, now, what happened when I did this? You've got it written down. You don't have to go back and look for or think through your head. And reflect on your path. Don't just give a report card. I did this and I did that. Share with people what you learned along the way, what you wish you had done differently, who you really found invaluable. Use this as a way to help others. Become a trainer when you do your reflect on your path as your project. Now, I put a picture of a chef here because we're very efficient people, but you can also take advantage of being efficient when you're doing your path. If you're a member in more than one club, when you start to schedule out when you're going to give your speeches, you can spread them out between the two clubs or more. And there's always clubs that are looking for guest speakers. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Or even just say, hey, I need to give a speech by the end of the month. Anybody have an open spot? Vice President of Educations will love you for that. You can also look at how often does your club meet. If you only meet once a month, you're not going to get very many speeches in. So figure out, do your math. Each path has a minimum of 17 speeches, maximum of 42 to 45. Figure out how you're going to, what your deadline is. Again, do the math. And you can even combine speeches. Your reflect on your path can go a little bit longer if your club allows it, and you can deliver a social speech thanking the people that helped you get there. You can also do speeches outside of Toastmasters. And this is really easy to do with Zoom because you can get the recording and give it to your Vice President of Education. And by the way, did you know there is no official filing of your evaluation? So you don't need to have that pen and paper evaluation to mark off a project getting complete. Now, if you lie about it, who are you cheating? Yourself. We're not doing this for badges. We're doing this for growth. So don't short yourself on doing those. And if a project is too hard, break it down, break it down, break it down into bite-sized pieces. And make sure you reward yourself all along the way. I happen to like little Milky Way bars. So every time I do something on my pathways, I get to eat a Milky Way bar. That's my good job. And one other thing to keep in mind is if you're giving speeches that aren't worth speaking about, reassess why you're giving them. Are you using pathways to help you, or are you using pathways just to do speeches? Try to get them to be all about you. And here's some last minute tips. Your icebreaker, especially after your first one, is not about you. It's about what you're going to do. Ask for help, honesty, and assistance. By the way, if you do a poor job or you'd like to try again, you can as many times as you want to. If you want to give that speech over and over again because it's important, then give it over and over again. Also, your introduction that you provide to your Toastmaster of the day, if you're going to be speaking about a topic that is not necessarily relevant to everyone in the club, make sure your introduction tells your audience who you're going to ultimately giving the speech to, so they understand who the target audience is, that it's not them, it's maybe the city council. You can do the speeches in your order, as many as you want, and you can just make sure that you sit down and you schedule out your plan, your path, your projects to finish, and you'll be the Vice President of Education's best friend. And with that, that is a new way of looking at pathways for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DT and Sandra. I mean, I've sat through so many pathways presentations, but I must tell you, that has been one big eye-opener. Let's give her a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I've taken notes after notes after notes, so stay tuned. There's going to be a few questions coming your way during the Q&A. With your permission, let me share my screen and display the certificate. Please, Didi and Sandra, please accept this certificate on behalf of the organizing committee, the coordinator, and our PQD. And of course, on behalf of everybody else over here, thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom and all of those amazing tips. This will be sent to you by the coordinator electronically. Thank you very much. Please do stick around. The Q&A session will be after the next presentation. Friends, this is turning out to be an amazing evening of learning. It's 10:30 in the evening for me, and I'm still up wide awake. Usually I'll be in bed by this time, but it's turning out to be an amazing learning experience. And let's continue with that learning. And in order to do that, we have yet another stalwart of our District 20 Toastmasters fraternity. What can I say about this gentleman? I've met him personally in his home turf of Kuwait, and then when he came to my home turf of Bahrain, I have met him. And over a period, I've interacted with him both physically, personally, and virtually, and learned a lot about who this person is. What we should understand is this is yet again another pathways personality. He has completed all 11 paths. All 11 paths. He has 2 DTM awards. Yes, he deserves a big round of applause. That's dedication there. He has 2 DTM awards. He's got awarded at literally every single district Toastmasters annual conference. I do apologize for that crazy bus driver who's making a big racket outside. You can hear it. Anyway, let me get back to it. He works for the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation. He has 23 years experience as an MBA in oil and gas management, worked for refineries and petrochemical industries in Kuwait and a number of entities. He's worked for the Ministry of Home Affairs in India, Platinum Award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the list goes on and on and on. He served the district in multiple roles as a judge, as chief judge, debate championship, test speaker, storytelling, YLPs, you name it, he's been there. Friends, to tell us about Toastmasters and professional life, I don't think there can be a better person than this. Please put your hands together to welcome our next speaker and my good friend, DTM Ram Kumar Nachapalli, to talk to us about Toastmasters and professional life. Screen is yours.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Warm good evening, and thank you, DTM, for us, the champion speaker, and of course, my guru as well. And thanks to all the presenters. You said it all, and well done. I'm not alone in this journey, the Toastmasters Pathways education program. I started my journey 2017. When Pathways were introduced, we were having no clue at all what to do with the pathways and what is this curriculum all about. But I had to stand up, pull up my socks, learning through pathways. Ladies and gentlemen, the first time you give free, you get appreciated. But the second time you give free, you get accepted. That is how was my journey into the Toastmasters, the pathway especially. The third time, when I started learning to go and give it free, people started expecting things. The fourth time, when I started 4 pathways learning through, my mentors, coaches, everybody started thinking, estimated, where am I going? Why am I running? No, I was not running anywhere. People were engaged with the public speaking, communication skills, with the leadership, but I focused to be the role model because I have achieved Distinguished Toastmaster DTM Award, first in entire district 20 in the pathways. The second award I received DTM was competent communication, the traditional manner. This was never easy, but this is to let you know that not to lose your interest. If you are giving a free advice or mentoring or coaching anywhere you are, you have to put your heart and soul together. Today I want to introduce about me. I already started, and the Toastmasters, how they changed my life. Before I start with, I would like to thank Mohammed Jahangir, for giving me the opportunity in the NMOP, New Members Leadership Program. Very inspiring thought is all about the Toastmasters. Founder, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. Whatever your grade or position, if you know when to speak and when to remain silent, your chances of real success are proportionately increased. I kept silent, observing, learning, listening. All the speakers, evaluators, role players, each and every role sharpened my skills. I post, like I say, push yourself a little bit more. Every time you will progress because no one else is going to do it for you. Do you agree? Yes. How many of you raise your hands? We have to push ourselves. Yes. Thank you for us. Toastmasters, we have promises, wonderful 10 Toastmasters International promises. If you read meticulously, I understood what is the concept behind from the Toastmaster International. We need to attend the meetings regularly, we do the best to your ability, fulfill the meeting assignments, do a constructive evaluations, not that flowery evaluations, be friendly and positive environment, inculcate with, and the club where you serve, you should take a role as an officer, maybe ex-com. I learned how to respect, how to invite the guest with the courtesy. There are several benefits in the Toastmasters when you join. Adhere the guidelines and rules. Why? Because we are not just joining the Toastmasters, we are trying to learn, we are trying to lead, we are trying to sharpen our skills with the values of the Toastmasters, wonderfully said. We rise with respect, integrity, service, and excellence. You need to understand what Toastmasters International is going to give me if I become a member. I learn too quickly. I would like to ask and request DTM Farham, what enable yourself, the audio, in the Toastmasters, if you ask me, my life, what these specs, this side we have cluster and this is single. What it comes to your mind when you see this graphical image or a photo or a JPG, whatever you feel like, what it comes to your mind?
The
As a
first
new
thing that
member,
comes to my what
yes,
comes to my mind is, as a new member, how do I get into this? How do I become a part of this as a new member?
perfect. Anybody else? Please feel free. Just one more note. Fine, very good. That was my case. Speechless. I was standing and seeing everybody working in a team. I was an individual. I was going where the wind is going. I didn't know where to go. Who will guide? Who will mentor? What they are doing? What are their roles? Nothing I knew. When I joined this, a team together, we all achieved more. So that made an impact to me. Critical evaluations. People nag you, pull you. They might criticize you at some times because you're going too fast, but never matter. Doesn't matter because they are trying to see more improvement in you. They're counting on you, the club, the area, the division, perhaps the district and the region, the world championship, the platform. Why not? Dream big. Your dreams will definitely come true, if not today, tomorrow. Everybody's dreams will come true. This is what I am today. It's amazing. Even I got surprised, right from the division director, the best division director, best pathways guide. I'm not going to bore about you my things. You name it, club, area, division, the club group director, assistant club group director. in the areas, in the divisions, everywhere we have taken a key importance of the role. What is that commitment? When you commit, you need to deliver. Stand up and deliver. If not you, for your club members. That's what I learned. Today, I'm proud to say that I engaged with the Speakers Bureau to deliver my speech in the month of June and another one, July. Yes, you have to move forward. These pathways, educations are very good platform. If you are weak, I was very weak in innovative planning. I didn't know what is innovation. Now with the technological advancement, artificial intelligence, where we are going. We are talking about the drones. We are talking about the grammar. If you don't accept the constructive criticism, we will never grow. So I learned to accept. I learned to bow as a protege, as a mentee, in front of mentor. Are you ready to learn? Think about it. 79, the badges I received after completing the 11 paths. This is what my record shows in the Pathways International through Toastmaster International. All the paths. Now, how Toastmaster changed my life? Well, I have gained a plethora of new skills, competencies, new skills. I have won second place in the storytelling contest from the Veteran Toastmasters Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters Club. The storytelling, how to connect with the people. The characterization, content, clarity, comedy, charisma. You need to pour yourself. It's not about you. It's about the audience perspective. What message you want to deliver. Is that enough? No, I'm now continue to grow. I want to grow with this journey. How to organize, how to teach, cavaliers, new members, how to begin the path, how to participate in the speech contest, and help others, taking a mentorship role. We did a lot. Becoming a club officer, it was not so easy, but when you got elected, when you have given a chance, I won all the president distinguished club status. District, yes, division, West Division Director in District 20, I was pronounced. Well, if you notice, focusing on we, not just me, that makes a difference. Right from the beginning, I was telling, team, if you work in the team, it works for you, for your betterment. What is the challenges as a leader? How many of you read? We learn through reading, right? If you not see the Venn diagram, understanding is important, but when you don't read and when you don't take up learning, learning starts with reading. When you learn, read, and focusing in the mind, when you start focusing, you will have a clear understanding of what you're reading. It depends on what you choose. It makes you who you are. So leading with your heart and managing your head is very important. That's the leadership challenge. Listening with the eyes and your heart, not just the ears and the brain. It requires a deeper level of paying attention for understanding. It requires we hear the heart and the soul. Councillor Kozo's Posner, beautifully said. Now, if you notice here, nice and kind. I read in the Toastmaster International article yesterday, other day, what it says is, nice is caring about the surface level, being polite or friendly. But it doesn't mean that when you are doing an evaluation, you should necessarily be nice to the people. No, that's not the purpose. Kind means that you care about the other person as much as or more than you care about yourself. But my motto is right move. When you do the critical, constructive feedback or evaluation, do the justice. Not to do a flowery evaluation to pep him up. Positive evaluation indeed helps, but at the same time, simultaneously go parallelly with a little motivation, but the constructive criticism. Like if I'm giving a presentation today, I am open to your criticism. What did I do best and what I need to learn more, do more, be more? Why not? Just don't build the contacts, build the relationships. resolve issues, problems, be it in a club, area, division, or a district, or among each other in the family relationships as well. So capturing audience attention right from the beginning is virtually important for any successful presentation. I believe today we will conquer this, engaging with the presentations. Toastmasters further helped how to deliver an effective and considerate evaluations. So don't just be nice, don't just be kind, be nice and kind with the constructive feedback, because at the end, they're going to remember you. I learned 3 golden rules in the presentation, the Toastmasters International Presentation Mastery. But you know what? You all must be knowing audience. You should know your audience, what material you're using. Ramona Smith, world champion, she says, it's not about you, it's about the audience. And you need to be thorough in what you're presenting, which means material, whatever you pick it. Know your passion, what you're passionate about. Know that there should be only one idea per slide. Today, we are talking about the public speaking and communication. That's why we are here, to encourage that practice, to give you advice and take advice from the mentors, evaluators, and coaches. Trust me, it's not the number of slides that matter. It's how clearly those slides communicate your message. Use pictures to tell stories, not as decoration or artistic or a lot of designs, no. Focus on the story. Things that help speakers, elevate speakers. Focus on crafting your message. That's what I learned in the presentation skills. Here, I want you to focus on balancing. What is it? Actually, know the value of balancing. Don't always label someone who is right, who is wrong. Always we do that sometimes, especially in the XCOM, when DCP points are soaring and people are not coming, attending the meeting. But pull up the socks, I do it. Speakathon, I took a challenge for ASSP, American Society of Safety Professionals. We have our XCOM members, some of them here, so you see. We have veteran Toastmasters in the Kuwait Advanced Toastmasters. We learned how to be assertive, being win-win strategy in all situations, being adaptive. We as a leader, I as a leader, balanced. We need to learn to balancing act of balancing from today and after 5 years and beyond. Be curious, trust, instill the trust, care for one another, listen to other party, explain what are the reasons, why and why not. Reasonably, I was the president of elite debaters, and it was always a challenge. I learned how to debate, not being aggressive, but listening, critical thinking, being assertive leader, refute, rebuttals, asking questions. It's not only built the confidence, it also helped me reap the rewards like this. Being a best speaker, being the best table topic speaker from my own club, outside the club. Today, I am so confident to the presentation in my representing my organization, the Kuwait Drilling Company. Recently had a presentation in Hyatt Regency Hotel. Isn't it amazing? The Toastmasters built the confidence in me, where I not only reap the rewards, but conquered the HSC management tools. This is one of the group photo. Friends, to me, Toastmasters International policies medley always been flexible. I define or abbreviate leadership as COME, being flexible. COME means commitment. Commit to whatever the role you take it. Be it if you're an environmental specialist or HSC, commit to protecting the environment and providing a safe, healthy workplace. If you're committed as an XCOM leader, make sure that all members are satisfied. Take the opportunity, motivate them, mentor, be advisor. Why not? Pursue excellence in everything that you anticipate. That should be the motto. Be flexible. Who is right? Be assertive, win-win strategy. According to John C. Maxwell, I was always inspired. Leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That was beautiful. But here, irrefutable loss of leadership is everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is nothing but rewards and recognitions. Do understand that. In the public speaking platform, yes, Toastmasters helped me to become a better speaker, storyteller, presenter, motivator, mentor, coach, and very best thing I'm looking forward for the Speakers Bureau. What happens when in the panel discussion? We overwhelmed with the negative thoughts. When person is telling the righteous thing, we don't accept. We try to speak without listening. We try to, counter the argument. But you have enough research studies as done. I did learn the styles of leadership with the leadership development and dynamic leadership, presentation mastery, how to engage with the humor. You need to be a better speaker. You need to be champion. If you want your children to see a champion, you need to learn first. Then only the children will follow you. That's why the image is all about here. Collaborative, being professional in your life. Problem solving is very important, be it personal, professional, office, wherever you are. Isn't it? Problem solving changes lives at work. You don't have to be crazy at work or anywhere by solving your problems. Kaizen principle, the Japanese principle, marginal improvement, 1% improvement every day equals almost 37.38% will be improved in your personality. So make changes of your own for the good of those around you, focus on the right things, and that will value you. Here, I want to present in a very beautiful thing. Personal life, learn, lead, and towards excellence. That's always we know, Toastmasters International, empowered with the knowledge, engaged how to network with the people, and elevated throughout the pathways education, especially me. That's why you see 11 paths I contributed. During the school, we feel that almost done, parents encourage you. High school, still father, mother encourage you, push you. But in college, you've passed BSc or engineering studies. Is the life indoor? No, that's not the end. Still, when you realize what's life, oh God, there is a lot more things to do. So push yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you, isn't it? We have to push ourselves. So I encourage everybody to be with the Toastmasters, learn with the Toastmasters, because it has provided, in conclusion, the platform to improve not just public communication speaking skills, but the leadership skills. It has given me ample of opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals like you are here, to learn, to lead, to excel. Members and individuals who are committed to self-development gained excellence, I guarantee you. Don't you regret. Invest like you always invest in your property. Invest on your career development. I want to further improve furthermore. I beseech all guests to join Toastmasters, and we all progress towards better listening, better thinking, and better speaking. That's it from me from the presentation point of view. If you have any questions, I'm ready to take or hand over back to the Master of Ceremony. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, DTM Ram. Let's please give him a big round of applause as well for that lovely, amazing presentation. And with your permission, let me quickly share your certificate before we jump to the question and answer session. So DTM Ram, on behalf of the organizing committee, the PQD, and the NMOP coordinator, please accept this certificate. And thank you so much for sharing your time, knowledge, experience, and what you have learned through Toastmasters and applied in your personal life. Thank you very much. Now, friends, with that, we have come to the end of the 3 presentations, but I do know that there are a few questions that have come through. So let me ask straight away, maybe if we can spotlight the 3 speakers, please, if it's possible. Can somebody please help me with that, DTM Jani? And let me quickly get to the questions. The first question is for Toastmaster Deepak, Area Director, if you're with us. Deepak, if you can please switch on your video and join us.
Okay, is it okay if I just put on my audio? I'm inside the car and
yeah, your sound is a bit faint. Your sound is a bit faint. If you can please try to improve that. And while we wait for you, we'll get to another question that's general, and maybe I can just ask. Yeah. And I would like to actually put this question to DTM Sandra. One of our new members, Ali, Toastmaster Ali, asks a question: can I switch path if I've started with one already? And this is a question lots of new members have. They started with with one, and can they switch a path? Please.
The short answer is not really. The long answer is that each of the projects in your path are pretty flexible for you to use in the way that you want to. But the paths are priced very, I feel, affordably, and you can always go back to the previous path. You never lose it. So if you do decide to start a whole new one, and here's another clue. Even if you're halfway through a project and you go, oh, I wish I had done this for my goal, start over. That's your path. You own it. Start over with it and do it the way you want to do it to get the most out of it.
Thank you so much, DCM Sandra. So Ali, there you go. You actually cannot. It's a bit difficult to change, but then why would you change when you can actually benefit from what you have already started? That's a real question. So stick to it and keep it, and maybe start a new path and come back to this. Yes, DTM Sandra. Yes, I see you raising your hands.
You can also work on two paths simultaneously.
Yes, there you go, Ali. So I guess you got the answer.
And one and use the other one for the things that aren't in the first path.
Thanks. Thank you so much. So Ali, I think you have enough of advice. So good luck with that. Now, DTM, Deepak, Toastmaster Deepak, Area Director, it's a question specifically for you. This new member has asked this. What this is: how many times do you recommend someone to attend meetings as a guest before making that big decision to become a Toastmaster? How many times would you recommend?
On average, I will recommend at least three meetings as guest. That will be my recommendation. But then it depends on the person actually, because as I told, there is no pressure involved. So the person can attend as long as he is comfortable. 4, 5, depends. But on average, I will let him attend at least 3 meetings so that he understands the various proceedings and gets familiar to it, and then he is comfortable to join. So that would be my average 3 meetings before he joins as a member.
Thank you. I think that's a reasonable number. 3 meetings is reasonable. But as you rightly said, you can attend as many number of times as you want as a guest, as long as the club allows you to. Because some certain clubs will, after you kind of come for about 3 meetings, will want you to make a decision quickly. DTM Jani, I see your hand raised.
Yes, DTM Faraz. I just want to touch base on this particular question because I have witnessed this, I have experienced this in our home club as well. One of the guests who came to the very first meeting showed interest to join in, but the very next month he realized that it is not the best fit for him. So at that particular moment, we did induct him because he was really enthusiastic about it, and he got to know a lot about Toastmasters in the first setup itself. However, I really don't understand what made him. We did try, but it's always good, no matter who the person is. We give that person an opportunity to attend at least 2 to 3 sessions to understand in depth. Because, for example, a member comes to the meeting in which we are having a speakathon, for instance, and we are not having anything else, impromptu learning session, or we are having a debate meeting itself. So maybe they join it for that purpose and they're having the idea of that is the only thing the meeting agenda looks like. So it's always good, in my opinion, as well, that every club should follow at least 2+ meetings as a guest, and then they end up. Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, DTM Jahangir, and I completely agree. I've also been at the receiving end of one such example where somebody attended a meeting and wanted to join immediately. We inducted the person, and then he never showed up after that. So that was bad. Yeah, so it's always good. 3 meetings. The club that I'm a member of over here in Sri Lanka, called Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters, we actually have a series of things guests have to do before they become a member. Like, they need to do a table topic in the first meeting, they need to do an evaluation in the second meeting, and then they need to do a tabletop, do one of the other roles in the third meeting. And only then and only then would we even ask them the question of whether they're interested in becoming a member. So they go through that, they get a general feeling. So that's good. DTM Ram, I have one quick question for you, sir. And it's about Toastmasters and your professional life, the area that you were speaking on. There was one statement that you said which really struck to me. When you commit, you have to deliver. And you obviously learned this in Toastmasters and probably even in your role in the in your back home, as well as you now as a petroleum oil and gas professional. But can you give me maybe one example of when this really happened, when it really mattered, very quickly, sir?
Integrity and discipline. I'm from the armed forces background. Discipline. You don't have any second question. They say, do it. Are you ready? Yes, sir. I don't know what is happening. I don't know how to do, what to do. Meticulous planning with integrity, dealing open-mindedly on basis of trust, respect, and fairness, transparency, and honesty. Because honesty is everlasting. Dishonesty is temporary and detrimental to a person's character and reputation. That's why I always say, commit to dedicate. If you're not committed to anything, don't come forward. Don't blame. If you've taken a role, you are accountable for it. You're standing as a leader because behind you, there is a team who are relying on you. So the ethics, professionalism, and shouldering responsibility is paramount in all disciplines. I hope I answered your question.
You certainly did, and Toastmasters is a great platform for us to build that discipline. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
One final question, because we are now actually out of time, but I would like to put this to DTM Sandra. I loved when you said about we have level 1 to level 5, but you actually said view it upside down. And in a way, what you were trying to imply is you start with the end in mind, because that was the general thrust of it. If you're writing a book, you had that end in mind, and then you used your 10th path for that. Maybe a little bit of advice, a little bit of encouragement to all of us, including myself, on how that can actually work. I know your entire presentation was that, but maybe just one or two, in 2 minutes, please, just a bit more advice so that we can. Over to you.
The easiest way for me to explain to many people about looking at something upside down is if you're moving from one apartment to the next tomorrow, you didn't pick up the cardboard boxes today. You picked them up months ahead of time. You organized where you were going to. You notified the post office. You arranged for all your utilities. You've transferred your children to another school. So look at the end in mind and then work it backwards with the schedule so that you can get to the finish line. You can see the finish line. That's very important. Believe that you can do it. And by breaking it down into smaller pieces, it becomes easy, very easy to do. So for me writing my book, I already know how I'm going to market it. And that is helping me set up all of the things I need to do beforehand so that everything looks unified. It looks like it all fits together.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Sandra. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our newer members, our younger members. What you have with you is an amazing treasure trove of knowledge, of information, and a pathway to build your success. That's what I have seen. That's what I have heard. And honestly, that's what I have personally experienced as well in my transformation from being a chartered accountant, working in corporates, to a trainer and a coach. I made that switch because of pathways and because of visionary communication as my first path. All right, friends, that's all the time we have for the Q&A session. I mean, we have some 3 great speakers with us, 3 great presenters, and I wish we had a bit more time, but I'm compelled to stop. We just have a couple of minutes more before the conclusion. I would like to once again thank our three speakers, Area Director Deepak, DTM Sandra, DTM Ram, for spending your valuable time and sharing all of your knowledge and experience with us. Thank you very much. And with this, let me hand over control back to our coordinator, DTM Jahangir. Over to you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
DTM
much.
Farhas. Appreciate.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Farhas Farooq, for moderating our today's session NMOP 11. Allow me to share my screen for a moment. There you go. I would like to quickly display a token of appreciation, a certificate of appreciation to our timer, our past district director, distinguished Toastmaster Mohammed Salim, who was serving as a timer for today. Also, a certificate of appreciation for our very own, our favorite boy, our champion speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Farhas Farooq, for being the master of the ceremonies and Zoom moderator for today's session. Along with that, allow me to appreciate Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. I cannot miss out on saying that from the session 1 up until now, this person has been my right hand. No matter which session it has been, he has always been there and supporting me. We really believe that you're a blessing to us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. To the three amazing presenters we were having today, starting with Toastmaster Deepak, our Area 10 Director, someone who is not that comfortable to come out of his shell to present in front of an audience, but he came forward himself to present, and we were really blessed to witness his personal experience being presented and introducing Toastmasters to us. Coming to our second presenter, distinguished Toastmaster Sandra. Yes, we have seen in the last 10 sessions, beautiful workshops, beautiful presentations being conducted in different ways, but I'm sure that many of the people who have been attending in the past are aware and they agree with me that this by far has been one of the best ways to present pathways to the newcomers. So thank you so much. It was our honor to have you with us in District 20, DTM Sandra. Thank you so much for presenting. On that note, she has also made a Google Drive, which she will be sharing across with me. And I would request her to share it in the group so that we can share across with our attendees we were having today, our guests and beyond, so we can take advantage of all the work she's having, and we will be sharing it across to everyone. Finally, one of our very own from District 20, someone who has achieved a lot, and it is not justice when we give him 15 minutes to share about that. As mentioned by our master of the ceremonies, one of the best when it comes to talking about professional life and in Toastmasters, how it goes hand in hand. Distinguished Toastmaster Ram Kumar Nachbali, it was an honor for us to have you and present to us. Thank you everyone, to all the attendees, to the role players for doing a wonderful job today. This video, this recording will be on our YouTube channel, if not by midnight. It will be there by tomorrow. Please share across to all the members of District 20 and other districts, because this session is worth sharing with everyone. There's a lot to learn, which we did today. So thank you once again, and we will see you for the final one, which will be on 30th of June, the last day of the term and the last Sunday. We'll be making it special. Please feel free to be there on that. We'll be sharing the poster as well. So quickly, if we can have a group picture with those who are present. Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. On behalf of our PQD, he's not here. He's here, he's not here. I don't know if he's listening or not. He's on his way coming to Bahrain. So thank you on his behalf as well. He has been the driving force for this project, and I've been just the driver to this project which he initiated. So thank you on behalf of PQD as